Join me today as we fly Air France's HOP business class and even explore the exclusive Air France Ultimate section of the Charles de Gaulle 2F Lounge. Welcome back to the channel. We're starting our adventure here at the main terminal for Valencia Airport. It is the 10th largest airport in Spain, and we'll be using it today to fly to Charles de Gaulle outside of Paris, France. Specifically the 2G terminal aboard an Air France HOP-operated Embraer 190 aircraft. We start at check-in, which is shared between Air France KLM and Transavia, a low-cost subsidiary of Air France KLM. Surprisingly, the signage is only for Transavia, but even more surprisingly, the check-in only opens 2 hours prior to your flight, which is obviously less than ideal when you arrive 4 hours prior like I did. Luckily, I'm able to reach out to the station manager who approves an early check-in. After a quick stop in security, we head to the Salsa Jaune Lounge, which is a shared VIP lounge allowing priority pass access. Inside the lounge is quiet when I first arrive, but you can find a variety of seating options along with light refreshments including sandwiches and drinks. It wasn't the most impressive lounge, nothing to write home about, but had enough to get the job done. The lounge did fill up as time went on, but never felt overly crowded. The staff were also very quick to clean up any trash and were excellent during my stay. As we head to the gate, I spotted a cool old-fashioned departure board. You don't see many of these anymore. It was also right next to my gate, which seemed to be where primarily low-cost carriers departed from. The passengers from the last flight were just getting off as I arrived. As we began to walk to the aircraft, first aboard thanks to my status as an ultimate with Air France, the gate staff surprised me by letting me know that I had been upgraded to business class on today's flight. I'll talk more about that later. As I walked across the tarmac to the aircraft, which is one of my favorite ways to board, I got to watch a Ryanair 737 boarding. Now today we're flying on an Embraer 190, Foxtrot Hotel Bravo Lima Oscar. It's about 5 years old and was originally delivered to Air France HOP. As I begin to walk up the stairs, I begin to falter a little. It is a little difficult to carry a heavy suitcase and film at the same time, but the chef de cabin is waiting to greet me warmly. Air France crew are always incredibly hospitable. And welcome aboard. This aircraft has 8 business class seats today in a 2-2 config, with the most legroom being found in the first row. Air France does not provide additional legroom in their front cabin like many European carriers, excluding KLM, so keep that in mind. There are an additional 92 seats in economy to the rear of the cabin. As I get settled into my seat, the rest of the passengers begin to arrive. I really do enjoy the extra few minutes to relax before the chaos of boarding begins. As the passengers begin to shuffle on board, the FA brings me a water and a towel first. This will be a trend throughout the flight. As the jet bridge begins to pull back, I'll take this time to explain. Air France's Flying Blue program has 5 official levels of status: Explorer, Silver, Gold, Platinum, and of course Ultimate. Each of these naturally require more and more flying, but Ultimate is the hardest, requiring 3 times the amount of flying that Platinum requires, and is far stricter, requiring those flights to be purchased through Air France KLM only. The perks are incredible though. As we've already seen, through my travel assistant, I'm able to get in touch with the Air France KLM station manager to get my bags checked early. This is normally impossible. I've also been given an upgrade to business, which is not even a listed benefit, but frequently happens. When we arrive at Charles de Gaulle, I can bring up to 8 passengers with me into the lounge, where I have an exclusive section dedicated just to ultimates. My companions and I all receive 2 additional pieces of checked luggage. I also get the highest tier of internet access on board any Air France KLM flight for free, a blocked seat next to me in economy. I'm able to change to any free flight that day on a segment-by-segment basis, along with 9 miles per euro spent, and of course all the perks of Platinum. It is really a wonderful status to hold. Now let's enjoy this takeoff from Valencia. seat, you'll find a standard set of 2 lights, 2 air nozzles, and a single FAA call button. Let's try avoid pressing that one on this flight. As we continue to climb through the clouds, I'd love to take this opportunity to ask you to subscribe to the channel. I've got several exciting videos upcoming that you'll definitely not want to miss out on, and maybe even a couple of aviation-themed giveaways, so stay tuned. And I suppose this is probably a pretty good time to let you know there is no IFE on this flight, so no entertainment, but there is a pretty basic tray table and seat pocket as you'd expect, so at least we have that. This little card lets me know that today's meal is a beef dish with vegetables, horseradish sauce, along with cheese and chocolate cake for dessert. Yummy. The meal is plated beautifully and looks delicious. The FAA brings a roll along with a champagne and red wine to enjoy with it. If you can't tell from the background, by the way, my meal and drinks are served prior to the other passengers. Yet another bit of that ultimate difference. The FAA insists on me filming the champagne pour, as she's caught me filming my meal. Well, I can't really decline that, now can I? Interestingly, this is the same champagne that Air France uses on their long-haul flights as well. Now, the bathroom is really tiny on these Embraers, and at 6'5", I can barely fit, as you can see. It's a pretty standard bathroom, very basic, no additional amenities, nothing special, except the incredible lack of headroom. Prior to landing, the FAA proposes some tea. This actually isn't entirely spontaneous, as it's a request in my preference sheet for Air France. I love Paris CDG and use it at home. Today I select the Lord's tea, which is an Earl Grey. Honestly, nothing is more relaxing than watching the French countryside fly past below while sipping tea and reading a book. Do you like reading on flights? Let me know down below. As we get closer to Paris, the countryside gets closer and closer. We've begun our initial descent into Charles de Gaulle. Let's enjoy this landing. As we taxi, I spot El Al, and then here in a few seconds, Emirates as well. Now, I must admit, it is a long taxi all the way to 2G, so we're going to speed the rest of this up. I grab my bag from the overhead bin and begin the journey to head to 2F. It's a bit of a distance, including a bus transfer. Once in the lounge, I make my way to the ultimate room. Protected by a locked door and PIN code, this is almost always a quiet haven for ultimate passengers passing through Air France's primary Schengen lounge. I'm sure you're dying to know the code, but I'm afraid it's a secret. The lounge does have a special menu for ultimates, which includes your choice of eggs during breakfast, foie gras and lychee cranberry verrine all day, and a pork, fish, and vegetable dish during lunch and dinner. Of course, not forgetting about dessert, there's a choice of onion tart or pear pastry. As you can see, I went for the foie gras along with pork and cod. Plated beautifully, I might add. I always hate filming food I picked myself from the buffet, as the plates are always so messy. Naturally, I had to have a Coke and sparkling water with my meal as well. As the lounge got less busy, it was the perfect time to film the entire ultimate section, starting in the back where there's a couple chairs, several small tables, and a large one, conveniently right next to a refreshment station, stocking soft drinks, water, tea, coffee, some French snacks, and wine. There are also some more chairs along with a couch set up. Then a conference room that's perfect for any meetings you may have. More chairs and choices, along with another refreshment station further down in the lounge. Giving you a closer look at what's on offer, you can see several wines, champagne, juice, along with the snacks, coffee, tea, and again that soda and water in the fridge. There's also a special cocktail menu that's sure to provide plenty of variety, even if you're in here on a weekly basis as an ultimate, flying quite frequently. The staff also pass through with very special treats throughout the day. Of course, there's the Clarence Spa upstairs, and I naturally made an appointment to get some skincare help. These do fill up fast though, so as soon as you arrive, I suggest checking out the kiosk on the second floor. My appointment was several hours later, but I luckily had the time to wait. After a couple hours of relaxing in the lounge, it was time to head off to my next flight. Thanks for flying with me today.